Athleticism, defined as the physical ability to perform sports movements or physical tasks with high levels of skill, strength, speed, coordination, and agility. Every fan base claims its athletes are the toughest, the fastest, and the most gifted. Soccer fans talk about total mileage. Basketball fans talk about verticality. Baseball fans talk about precision. Football fans talk about power. But today, we're stripping away the jerseys and looking at the raw biological machines underneath. When you measure strength, explosive power, and sheer freak of nature physics, only one sport stands at the top of the mountain. Today, we're ending the debate with cold hard facts. And spoilers, it's not even close. We'll dive into a statistical analysis on this episode of Sports Revelations. Let's start with America's pastime. Baseball is a game of incredible skill. Hitting a round ball being thrown 100 miles per hour with a round bat is one of the hardest things in sports. But is it athletic in the way we define the term? Sure, it involves incredible hand-eye coordination and accuracy, but can they run fast, jump high, and change directions quickly? The answer is overwhelmingly no. Let's be honest, baseball is one of the only major sports where you can be clinically overweight and still be an all-star. We've seen legendary pitchers and designated hitters who look like they just finished a backyard barbecue. There have literally been MLB All-Stars who've weighed upwards of 250 pounds while being under 6 feet. And although there have been some extremely rare outliers, baseball is the sport where you're most likely to succeed while being obese and out of shape. When your sport allows for beer and hot dog breaks in the clubhouse during the game, you've officially lost your seat at the most athletic table. Next up, soccer, the beautiful game. Fans love to point to the endurance required to run 6 miles a match, but endurance isn't the same as pure athleticism. If it were, long-distance runners would be considered the best athletes. Let's look at a historical reality check. Back in the early 80s, there was a competition called the Superstars. They put Pelé, arguably the greatest soccer player to ever live, in a 60-meter dash. The result? He got smoked. He didn't just lose, he finished third behind Wayne Gretzky, a hockey player and a tennis player. If the king of soccer can't outrun a guy who spends his life on skates, how can we say soccer produces the world's best athletes? Modern fans will scream, but what about Kylian Mbappe? Sure, Mbappe is a speed demon, once clocked at roughly 23.6 miles per hour in a shirt and shorts. But look at the NFL's Tyreek Hill. The cheetah has been clocked at 23.24 miles per hour during a game. Here's the kicker. Mbappe is running in lightweight silk and cleats. Tyreek Hill is hitting those speeds while wearing a helmet, shoulder pads, and a full kit that weighs between 15 and 25 pounds. And then there's the famous Cristiano Ronaldo header. Commentators acted as if he broke the laws of physics when he jumped between 28 and 31 inches off the ground to headbutt the ball. 28 inches. That's impressive for a suburban high schooler. But in the NFL, a 28-inch vertical will get you cut from the practice squad before lunch. We're talking about a sport where the average jump is between 2 and 8 inches higher than Ronaldo's miracle leap. Now the NBA fans are getting restless. What about verticality, they say. Sure, the NBA has height, but let's look at the standing vertical record. This is the ultimate test of explosive power. No running start, just pure fast twitch muscle. The NBA Combine record for a standing vert is 41.5 inches. This was achieved by Keon Johnson, who was 6'5" and 185 pounds. That's elite. But let's look at the NFL. Linebacker Derek Wake achieved a standing vertical jump of 45.5 inches. He did this while being 6'3" and 265 pounds. Think about that. A football player carrying 80 extra pounds of muscle is launching himself 4 inches higher into the air from a dead stop. And newsflash, this is not the only football player to jump higher than 41.5 inches. Someone does it nearly every year at the NFL Combine. NBA players are long, but NFL players are explosive. One is built for a marathon of 82 games. The other is a human rocket ship built for 17 weeks of pure, unadulterated violence. If you want to talk about raw athleticism, look at the roster. The NFL is the only league that literally imports its talent from the Olympic podium. Sure, basketball, baseball, and soccer players are Olympians. But football has Olympic athletes from sports outside of their own. We're talking about guys like Bob Hayes, who won gold in the 100-meter dash and then went on to win a Super Bowl. And it's not just a one-off thing. James Jett was an Olympic gold medalist in the 4x1. Marquise Goodwin was an Olympian in the long jump. Devin Allen was a world-class hurdler. These athletes all chose the NFL. And newsflash, this isn't even half of the list. Around 40 NFL players have participated in Olympic sports outside of their main sport. This is by far more than the other 3 sports combined. At the end of the day, every sport has its specialists. But if you were to build the perfect human specimen in a lab, the fastest, strongest, most explosive person on Earth, he wouldn't be wearing a baseball glove or a soccer kit. He wouldn't be dribbling a basketball. He'd most likely be wearing a helmet. The NFL is where the world's true super athletes live. Period. Think I'm wrong? Tell me why in the comments. But before you do, remember, Gretzky beat Pele in a foot race. Let that sink in. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more sports deep dives. This is ASED. Like, comment, and subscribe. And have a great day.